When the storm of the century struck, the sky was a tumultuous canvas of dark, swirling clouds, and the ocean roared with a ferocity that seemed almost otherworldly. The waves crashed against the shore with a deafening roar, sending sprays of salt water high into the air. The wind howled like a chorus of lost souls, tearing through the town with a relentless fury. It was a night that would be remembered for generations, a night when nature itself seemed to be at war with the world. Amidst this chaos, only one man stood between the town and utter destruction. His name was Milo, the lantern keeper, a solitary figure who had dedicated his life to the lighthouse that stood as a guardian over the treacherous waters. Milo was a man of few words, but his actions spoke volumes. He was known for his unwavering dedication and his unyielding spirit, qualities that would be put to the ultimate test on this fateful night. This is the tale of Milo, the lantern keeper, a man whose bravery and determination would become the stuff of legend. Milo had taken on the mantle of lantern keeper from his father, who had inherited it from his father before him. It was a role steeped in tradition and responsibility, one that Milo had embraced with all his heart. The lighthouse was more than just a building to him. It was a symbol of hope and safety, a beacon that guided sailors through the darkest of nights. On a night when the sea turned savage and the wind howled like lost souls, Milo knew that his duty was more important than ever. The storm had come without warning, catching the town and the sailors off guard. The waves rose higher and higher, crashing against the cliffs with a force that shook the very ground. The wind tore through the town, ripping roofs off houses and sending debris flying through the air. It was a night of terror, a night when the very elements seemed to conspire against the town. As the storm raged on, Milo's lighthouse flickered, then went dark. The light that had been a constant source of guidance and safety for so many years was suddenly gone, leaving the sailors at sea in a state of panic. The darkness was absolute, a void that seemed to swallow everything in its path. The lighthouse, once a symbol of hope, now stood as a dark silhouette against the raging storm. Panic spread like wildfire among the sailors at sea. Their ships tossed about like toys in the violent waves. The darkness made it impossible to see, and the howling wind drowned out their cries for help. The sailors clung to their ships, their faces etched with fear and desperation. They knew that without the light of the lighthouse, they were at the mercy of the storm and the deadly cliffs that lay just beyond the shore. Their ships veering perilously close to the deadly cliffs, the sailors fought to keep their vessels from being dashed against the rocks. The cliffs were a jagged, unforgiving barrier, a death trap for any ship that strayed too close. The sailors knew that one wrong move could mean the end, and they struggled with all their might to steer their ships to safety. But without the guiding light of the lighthouse, their efforts seemed futile. But Milo, resilient and brave, climbed the lighthouse, battling the storm's fury. The wind whipped at his clothes and stung his face, but he pressed on, driven by a sense of duty and determination. He knew that the lives of the sailors depended on him, and he would not let them down. With each step, he felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders, but he also felt a surge of strength and resolve. He would not give up, no matter how fierce the storm. He tried to relight the lantern, but the relentless wind snuffed out his every attempt. The flame flickered and died over and over again as the wind howled through the lighthouse. Milo's hands shook with frustration and exhaustion, but he refused to give up. He knew that the light was the only thing that could save the sailors, and he would not rest until it was burning bright once more. Desperation set in as Milo recalled a legend, a flame, ancient and eternal, hidden deep within the lighthouse's foundation. It was a story that had been passed down through generations of lantern keepers, a tale of a magical flame that could never be extinguished. Milo had always thought it was just a myth, a story to inspire hope in times of darkness, but now, with the storm raging and the lives of the sailors hanging in the balance, he was willing to believe in anything. With nothing to lose, he descended into the bowels of the lighthouse, navigating forgotten tunnels and dust-covered rooms. The air was thick with the smell of damp and decay, and the darkness was almost suffocating. But Milo pressed on, driven by a sense of purpose and a glimmer of hope. He knew that if the legend was true, the flame would be his only chance to save the sailors and the town. In the deepest chamber he found it, a faint, ancient flame glowing in the dark. It was a small, flickering light, but it burned with a warmth and intensity that seemed almost otherworldly. Milo felt a surge of hope and relief as he carefully approached the flame. He knew that this was the key to saving the sailors. the light that would guide them to safety. Milo carefully carried the flame back to the top and placed it inside the lantern. The journey back up the lighthouse was treacherous, the wind and rain making every step a struggle. But Milo held the flame close, shielding it from the storm with his body. He knew that the lives of the sailors depended on him, and he would not let them down. The moment the flame touched the glass, the lighthouse erupted in a brilliant golden light, piercing through the storm. The light was so bright that it seemed to cut through the darkness like a knife, illuminating the sea and the cliffs with a warm golden glow. The storm seemed to recoil from the light, the wind and waves losing some of their ferocity. It was as if the very elements were bowing to the power of the flame. Sailors, blinded by the light, steered their ships to safety. The golden glow of the lighthouse guided them through the treacherous waters, away from the deadly cliffs. The sailors felt a surge of hope and relief as they followed the light, their fear and desperation giving way to a sense of calm and determination. They knew that they were safe, that the light would guide them home, and the town was saved. As the storm subsided and the first light of dawn broke through the clouds, the townspeople emerged from their homes, their faces etched with relief and gratitude. They knew that they had been spared from disaster, that the lighthouse and its keeper had saved them from the storm. The town was alive with celebration, the people coming together to give thanks for their safety and to honor the bravery of Milo, the lantern keeper. As the storm subsided, the townspeople gathered, amazed at the lighthouse still glowing with the magical flame. They marveled at the light, its golden glow a symbol of hope and safety. The lighthouse had always been a beacon, but now it was something more, a testament to the bravery and determination of one man, a symbol of the power of hope and the strength of the human spirit. Milo, exhausted but triumphant, had become a legend. His bravery and determination had saved the town and the sailors, and his name would be remembered for generations to come. He had faced the storm and emerged victorious, a true hero in every sense of the word. The townspeople hailed him as a savior, their gratitude and admiration evident in their eyes. From that day forward, the lighthouse never dimmed, its light forever burning bright, a beacon of hope in the darkest of storms. The magical flame continued to burn, a symbol of the power of hope and the strength of the human spirit. The lighthouse stood as a guardian over the town and the sea, its light guiding sailors through the darkest of nights and the fiercest of storms. And Milo, the lantern keeper, remained a legend, his bravery and determination an inspiration to all who heard his tale.